Good morning, class. Welcome back. We are in the chapter Public Revenue, and we have come across the word taxes, which is a major source of revenue for the government. In this, we are seeing the category of taxes, that is, direct tax and indirect taxes. We had begun with the merits of direct taxes. Today, we'll talk about the demerits or disadvantages of direct taxes. What is the disadvantage of it? Coin has two sides, head and tail. We have learned about the head side. Today we'll see the tail side. What are the demerits of, or what are the disadvantages of the direct taxes? The first is unpopular. Direct tax is said to be unpopular among the citizens. It's not very familiar one, it's not very common one, that everyone knows why it is being charged, how it is being charged, and how to pay. All these difficulties the common masses or the common people do not know, because no institution, no colleges, no school teaches you about the payment of the taxes to the government. It's only when we start earning we learn about the basics of the payment criteria. Okay, that is why it is unpopular among the common masses or the citizens. Second is inconvenience. Inconvenience. It is inconvenient for the common mass to pay, because people are in a total surprise. They don't know about the portal, they don't know about the system, how to pay, whom to pay, how does it reaches to the government. They are not aware about these difficulties, these criticalities. That is why there is a lot of difficulty in the payment options. One is this. Second inconvenience is, they, as a taxpayer, we need to maintain all the details, so that whenever it is inquired from us, whenever there is a scrutiny of the tax payment, we have the data, we have the record which we can show to the government or to the tax authorities. So these all creates a lot of difficulty for the people, which becomes a point of inconvenience. The third is possibility of evasion. Possibility of evasion. Since the government does not approach to you directly, I told you it's a general information which is given to the common masses, that if you fall into so and so criteria of income scale, if your income is up to this much, you have to pay the taxes. Government does not track you directly. The government only comes to you on a direct basis when you fail to pay, when you mislead the government. Here the government means not the central government I am talking about, the taxation government I am talking about. The tax authorities who have the right to penalize the people who do not pay the taxes according to the income that they generate. So possibility of evasion is that it's totally upon the honesty of the individual. If you are honest enough, then only you cannot evade the taxpayer government. Okay, but if you are dishonest and if you try to confuse the government, up to some extent you can do, but when there is a scrutiny, when there is a checking, if you are found in that, there will be a heavy penalty for you. Okay, so possibility is there, but we must not practice this. Possibility itself is a conditional word. We say it can, it cannot be. Okay, there is a conditional statement. So possibility is there that the consumer may mislead the government. Okay, consumers or the taxpayers may mislead the government, but up to some extent only. When government scrutinizes, rechecks, if you are found a fraud in that, if you are found guilty in that, there will be a heavy penalty for you. So it totally depends upon the honesty of the individuals. If the individual is honest enough, then he cannot misguide the government. Fourth point is uneconomical. Fourth point says it's uneconomical in nature. Uneconomical means since government has to take care of the everyone, every population becomes a part of. Suppose if there is a condition that every one of us has to pay a tax. So how difficult it would be for the government to collect this tax from the everyone. For example, land revenue. Land revenue is example which every one of us pays. It's a very small amount of revenue which we give it to the government. Land revenue or land tax is a small amount of tax which we pay to the government. But think from the government point of view, how difficult it is for the government to collect those taxes from everyone. Small amount but to be collected from large volume of people, and for that a huge potential of human beings are required, or huge assets are required, huge system is required through which collection can be done. So if you want to involve such so many people for collection, you need to pay them even. So that becomes a burden for the government. Small amount of collection and many people are involved in collecting. For that, government bears extra expenditure. So that is why it is said to be uneconomical. It's not very economical to hire many people just to collect a small amount. Okay. Next is arbitrary. Direct tax is said to be arbitrary in nature, means it totally depends upon the wish of the government. If the government wishes to raise more of the revenue, they can increase. There is no stake of, or there is no say of the general masses. The common people do not have any say in the tax planning or in the fixation of tax rates. They do not say anything. Rather, it totally depends upon the whims of the government. And the last is narrow in scope. Sixth point is narrow in scope. Last point is it is narrow in scope. Okay, since there is a difference in the tax rates, the people who have a good source of income, the people who are earning high income, they pay more of the taxes. So it's a bit of you can say a partiality is there, or there is a gap between the rich and the poor. The poor people do not become a part of the direct taxes, but rather it falls heavily on the richer group. So that is why these differences creates point of distinction that it is narrow in scope. Many the taxpayer, the total number of taxpayer, the total percentage of taxpayer in our country is 2%. Means only 2% of the population pays the taxes. Rather, the rest of the 98% are the beneficiaries of the 2%. Whatever is contributed by 2%, that is enjoyed by 98%. So that is why it says it's a narrow in scope. So class, this is about the demerits of the direct taxes. In the next class, we shall deal with the advantages of the indirect taxes. Thank you.